So we'll get there in probably a little bit better, or we'll cover this again as soon as we get a few into the slides. But we are at the 22nd of June. This runs to like the 20th of August. So time is winding down for good or ill. So kind of keep that in mind as we kind of walk through this. We're still plenty of time to get everything done you need to get done. But the sooner you start, the less traumatizing it's going to be at the end of this semester. So breeze blowing through here too, which is kind of cool. This kind of caught my mind a little bit. This came through from the health center on campus, the Rensselaer Student Health Center. I don't know if you guys are into meditation or are into relaxing or into mindful meditation or anything. We have had projects before we've had proposals before on meditation. If you're getting stressed, if it's a stressful summer semester for you, if you'd rather be elsewhere, this is not a bad thing to participate in. Mindful meditation with the RPI, Rensselaer Student Health Center. It's free. QR code is here. It's not particularly open source, but that's okay too. It is a student service, and part of this summer session is supposed to be to give you guys some opportunities to do things other than just study. So learning how to relax is not a bad way to spend at least, what do we have here? 3 hours of the summer, or 5 to 5:30 and an hour of the summer. So anyway, keep that in mind. Hi, Nia. Nia has shown up in her RCOS sweatshirt, which, by the way, we can get from Teespring. Yeah. We should actually put that link up there. We don't get it. We sell it at cost, so we don't actually make any money whatsoever. But we do have some cool designs. This is the fixed information, fixed being stable. Syllabus, about 30 minutes. Then I'm going to transition into my office hours. You can either do that online or in this room as we sit. I'm going to change this a little bit. This was correct as of about an hour ago, but I did actually get rainbow grades correct up through 6/18. So Friday's grades are now in there as well. And I should have actually stripped out this midnight tonight to fix grades. We are working on the next set. So just let me know if there's any things with your grading. We'll do this again more formally on Friday, but we are trying to keep them up to date and keep them correct. All the mentors and teams are together now. I don't think I changed anything here except for there are people that are still being added into projects, so I'm trying to keep that up to date. We are down, I think, to one half of a person not paired up. I think they haven't officially told me they've changed. They've gone into a group, but I think they have. So we'll get all of this. We'll get all of this done. Everything's wrapped up. But you can always see who's out there by following this link and getting all of our projects up to date. And if you have to update any information, if you change projects, if you want to change groups because you have a mentor, a specific mentor who is versed in what you're working on, something like that, let us know. These are should be pretty good right now, but this is you are welcome to and able to change it if we need to. So yeah, I think I have one more person that I need to pull in, but other than that, we are in great shape. And if you need to find out what project somebody is working on, here's a good place to go. Well, I'll fix this one. I have another person to add to this group to make it 4. 5. Well, I'll get this one afterward. There's no use. I just did this one earlier today. All right, so we are in good shape as far as the projects go. And as I was talking about, we are sitting just right about here, just this side of the halfway point. So, we do have to be cognizant of passing time. You guys should be at a point where you're starting to feel comfortable making contributions, or at least you know what contributions you're going to actually be making. And if you're having any problems with that, well, let us know, and we will do our best to help you figure out how to take what you're trying to do and turn it into contributions. I knocked out Nia's Git workshop just because it's been a couple of weeks now. We're going to try to shorten this up as we go through, but remember that all of the workshops that have been given are available, and you can take those as well. Last week we had intro to Dockerizing all the things on Wednesday, AWS on Wednesday, and Introduction to Flutter on Thursday. Today or tomorrow we're going to have we're going to have an open source licensing talk. I'll give that. I'll log into Discord workshops about noon or at noon. I haven't decided whether I'm going to do new slides from this or I'm going to use slides I already have from the open source course and kind of cut it down from an hour and a half to 40 minutes or so. I'm not good at cutting unless I do it formally. So we'll see what happens. But we'll give a workshop on licensing. And the idea here is you guys that are making new projects in particular, you should get some feedback on what good licensing means, why you have to license things, why it's important that you follow the kind of rules of the class as far as licensing goes, how you choose your license, what you decide to use, etc. So hopefully that'll just get us past this immediate issue with not knowing how to license. And it's always a good thing to keep in mind. I'll talk a little bit about IP and different forms of IP and how you protect it, or how you not protect it but release it as well. So that's going to be, hopefully it'll be interesting and useful at this point in the semester. Following that, we have a little bit of a break from workshops. James Crovo is going on 6:30. He's going to talk about Redis and NASFAC, which is his project this semester. Graham's going to talk on 6:30. Graham's going to talk about React. And Alice is going to talk after our break, after the 4th of July break. On the 13th, Alice is going to talk about more weird math. I think that's all the ones we have. This is most of the workshops that are going to be given. So everybody is required to attend a workshop, right? So make sure that, if you don't see them live, that you at least watch them. We're going to try to tape every one of them. We're generally pretty successful. But you do need to have at least one, and you can have up to 3. And if you have up to 3, you can use it to replace an attendance that is otherwise missing, or it will automatically fill in with an attendance that's missing. So, just keep in mind, we always try to get some towards the end of the semester because people start panicking. I don't know, with only 8 mentors this semester, mentors and coordinators this semester, I'm not sure how many we're going to have at the end of the semester. So, try to find something you like. I think we have a couple more that need to come in. And if you are a mentor who hasn't signed up to give a workshop yet, please figure out what you want to do and let me know when you want to do it so we can get everything scheduled and let people know what their options are for the rest of the semester. Okay, hopefully this QR code works. This is slightly wrong. Proposal reviews are not yet released. I got stuck on a few things, and I'm only about almost half of the way through. Professor Makis did a good job. He's all the way through. He's read every one of them. I'm working on it now, so hopefully I'll have it done in the next couple of hours, but they will be released today. Actually, I'm going to turn myself off so that you guys can actually scan that QR code. me turn myself video capture. There we go. All right, so there's the full QR code. I think I've said this before, but we've graded, marked, evaluated the proposals. It's not going to count against your grade. Our goal is to get you something actionable that you can execute on during the semester and get in some open source contributions with guidance. You don't have to be hunting around every week for something to do. You have a plan. You have a solid plan that leads to contributions, etc. So what we've done is we've gone through and we've evaluated on a 5-point scale. 1, it definitely needs work, right? Well, 1, 2, you've got the beginnings of an idea, but you need to fill it out. 3, there are some specific things that we're probably looking at. 4, it could be perfect, but it's not. And then 5, it's pretty much as good as it gets. All right? So these aren't really hard scales. Again, it's not going to count against your grade, but if you get anything below a 4, right? So if you got a 3 or below, that means we're concerned about something in your proposal stopping you from making good progress. Either it's too vague on your overall goals, too vague on the semester goals, or maybe you don't have enough milestones, or your milestones don't map well into what we think is a good way to get open source contributions. So if we give you below a 4, please plan to revise your proposal with our evaluations in mind and resubmitting it, so that we can go in and make sure that that you're well poised to do well this semester, right? We're a little, like I said, we're a little under halfway through the course right now. This is the time we want to make sure that everybody has a solid fit foundation and everybody is starting to work. So these will go out hopefully tonight, unless I mess up or unless office hours are really busy, which sometimes they are. That's good. Once you see your grades, it's going to be time to actually talk to us. We want to talk to every group. Now, for some of you who are actually meeting here, we're already talking. It would be good to bring Professor Mikas in as well, and we will meet, with all of you together with the both of us. So we're still going to ask you to do this, but you can see that on a normal semester, the ability for us to talk together is a lot more than it is. I don't know why this is not sharing well for me. Anyway, so what we want to do is we want to have just a quick 20-minute talk with every group, just to kind of, see if you have any questions, answer any questions you have, ask any questions we have about your project, and just try to get to know you a little bit. We'll do these probably in Discord. We're open for suggestions, but what we did was we put together, Professor Mikas and myself put together a schedule starting next Thursday. We're starting Thursday, right? 2 days from now. And you guys can go in and put your group down for a 20-minute slot, and then Professor Mikas and I will try to meet you at that point. Tomorrow is too soon. There's no time for us to plan. And actually, my day is pretty full tomorrow. So we're going to start Thursday. Any of the white or gray slots work. The black slots are ones that we've kind of honed out because we have something going on and we can't be available. We've tried to leave it just the weekdays, not put anything on the weekends. You can come in here, you can put in something like that, your example group, example link. If you want to meet in Discord, we can meet in Discord. However you want to get together, and we will try to do this. We have 2 weeks. We have the week of June 21st, which is this week, and then we have the week of June 28th, which is next week. We start at 10 a.m. and we go till 4:40. If you are someone who is in a foreign time zone, or you have problems making some of these times for whatever reason, please contact Professor Mikas and myself, and we will try to arrange a time that's mutually agreeable. I'm probably not going to go much earlier than 10, and I'm probably not going to go much later than 10. So we can make, if we can hold it to these normal hours, that's cool. But if we can't, let us know, and we'll try to work it out. I think there are 26 groups. So there should be more than enough slots. If you have a bigger group and you want to take up 2 slots, put yourself down in two back-to-back slots. But other than that, unless there's somebody immediately following you, this is a kind of a guideline time. We can go longer, we can go shorter. It's just some time for discussion, just some time for all of us to make sure, kind of, I guess, maybe enforced office hours or something, but I think with a positive spin on it. You don't need to generate a presentation. If you have one or you want to use one, that's fine. But basically just plan to talk. And be nice. If somebody else puts down the time, your favorite time, don't kick them out. That's not very collegial for us. One thing I wanted to point out was that I think I said a couple of times we have 26 active projects. There are only 15 active projects on the RCOS page. So I would like to get those all made active or defined on the RCOS page, just because that makes it easier for me. I am all about being as easy for me as possible. So if you want to do that, you just have to go to projects, right? Select, if you're an existing project that's just hasn't been marked active this semester, just click over here. This will say past. Click it. You'll get all of the past projects, and this will turn to current. You can pick your project like organizer and click mark active to make it active again. If you're a new project, just go in and click on add a project. It will come up with a little form that you can fill in that will allow you to put in your GitHub and things like that on it. It's not a hard form. There's 11 of you missing right now, so kind of take care of that. Please do that as soon as you can. I really want to be able to see all of the developers and all of the projects on the website. It does make it a lot easier. When I talk to external people, if we have these all in one place, I can send them a link and I can get them. I do actually communicate with other professors at other institutions and at RPI about your projects. And if you have a successful project in particular, it's really good for me to be able to tell them, where to go to see it, a place that has a link to all of your repositories, any blogs you may write, the people that have been on the project, etc. It helps me out. It helps you out if you're looking, if you want to become if you want to turn this into $1 billion idea or something. Or, for example, if you ask me for a reference later on and I need to go back and find out what projects you worked on and what you did. Okay, so the last thing that I have, I think, Nia, did you have something you wanted to talk about?
I threw on a slide on the end.
Okay. I think maybe I have to refresh. Let me refresh it, and there we go. Yes, it's there now. Okay, good. Okay, so finally, one of the things that we worry about a lot during the semester is making sure that you all have open source contributions. Okay, and typically we'll refer to these as commits, or I'll refer to these as commits, because most of you will get in most of your open source contributions as commits to a GitHub repository or GitLab repository or something. They don't have to be. So you can look at there's probably 4 main types of commits. Some are code commits, right? That's where you're modifying the code of a project. You're doing it probably to your own fork. You're probably making a pull request back to the main repo. You can't count them twice. If you get your pull requests into the main repo, refer to them there via the pull request. If you don't, let us know what the code changes are in your fork, so we can see that you've been working in an open source kind of fashion. Similarly, not every commit needs to be a code commit. I know a lot of you, I'm looking at that, A lot of you have some serious objectives around, learning new technologies or getting some stuff started, or learning, installation goals. If installation is taking you 2 weeks, if it's one of your milestones and it's taking you 2 weeks, then that means the installation procedures are not good. Okay? If the installation procedures are not good, it would be a gift to the world to document the installation procedures in a way that is good, right? So one of the things you can do during these phases where you're not actually committing code, where you're actually fighting with getting the projects up and running, is you can do documentation commits. Now, a lot of projects don't have a documentation fork or a documentation branch or a documentation directory. Do this in your private fork if you need to. Offer it back to them via a pull request. If they don't want it, that's fine. But if you can document, for example, on a lot of the IBM projects, IBM does not use Windows, surprisingly enough. So on a lot of the IBM projects, the first things you guys have to do is figure out how to get something that's been developed by engineers working on non-Windows machines running on a Windows machine, right? If you can do that once, right, now you've opened up their open source project to, an entire universe of people who aren't running on the same machines, right? Offer it back to them. They don't have to take it. That's fine. Just show me your commits in your fork, and you get credit for it. Offering it back is the right thing to do from an open source standpoint, okay? But don't let the fact that that's not necessarily what they want. If you have to do the work anyway, document it. All right, and make it easier for the next person. Issues the same way. If you can make issues back to the main repository, they count, right? If you're going through and you're doing testing, the expected output from you testing somebody else's code is a series of issues posted to their repository, okay? I mean, if you're doing testing, how else are you reporting it? If, on the other hand, they want you to report it orally or they want you to report it in a meeting, make the issue into your code just so we can see it. Attach the documents that document how you get to the right. A good issue tells you what happened, how you replicate it, and anything you can that gives the person that has to solve it a clue as to where to look, right? So a good issue is actually a fairly substantial contribution and can be really instrumental in getting things fixed because you don't have to know how to fix it in order to describe the issue that you're having in a way that helps somebody that knows the repository better fix it. And then again, you can do things like wikis, etc. A wiki is separate from a status update. You can reference your status update. If you're going to put a link in your status update to a wiki, make sure that we can see the incremental changes you make along the way. If you're doing a wiki in GitHub, GitHub wikis actually do preserve every change as part of a commit. So just keep that in mind. Give us as much as we can so we can evaluate you. If we go through and I read two different versions of the page and all I see is there's a comma that's changed. A comma's important, right? You guys know the difference between let's eat and let's eat grandma and let's eat grandma, right? The comma. So, it's important, but, make sure that I can see that you've made substantive changes as you go through. All right, Nia, do you want to talk about Discord channels?
Sure. So I've reorganized Discord, so I've moved all of the project parent channels. Oh, hang on.
Try talking again.
I've reorganized the Discord. Is that one?
Okay, do it one more time.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Yeah. I'll put on my mask. You want to come up and speak right into the mic? It's probably forbidden, but we're going to do it anyway. My mic.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so I've reorganized all of the channels from the project parent categories into small group categories. Currently, roles are managed they're automated with a Discord bot, and that's not working right now. It needs a bit of an update. So roles have not been updated. If you ping a project role, you will ping everyone from the spring semester. So that will be fixed soon, I hope. But otherwise, everything should be in the right category. Message me if there were any issues, and I think that's it.
Okay. And when we're meeting, by the way, if you want to hold the meeting in your group in your group Discord, the group just so one of the things that the output of this is that you all now have Discord channels moved out of the project pairing where you guys can use to communicate. That's your choice whether you use those or not, but they're there for you. During our parent teacher, our project professor meetings, if you guys want to use that Discord channel, just throw it in the, just give us a pointer to it in the schedule so that we know where to look. It's a really handy and useful tool, and will get used a lot. But you're not required to use it if you have other things. I know the IBM projects have their own Slack, etc. So that's also positive. Evan, Hunter, do you have anything before we go to attendance?
Don't think so.
Okay, so Yash has a question about, currently I'm seeing a button that says mark as past project, but no label that says active. So if the projects and the people, by the way, on RCOS are divided into two groups, active and inactive, or past, current and past. So if the little button off to the side on the projects page says past, then you are on the current projects. Current projects are all marked active. If the little button says current, then you're on the past projects. If you're getting a button that says mark as active or mark as past project, then your project is active. Okay? It's not a big, yeah. Hunter, were you able to actually hear Nia? I hope, because we had her come up and use the cool microphone. All right. Yeah, I was trying to turn it around. It has a directional gain, but it's hard to do that without picking up all the noise in the world, and that's not all that useful. All right, so if you take a picture of this will get you to the venue meetings page. Okay, once you're at the venue meeting page, then you have to click, well, not this is the wrong, this is Fridays. Then you have to click this one. Okay, so the little one gets you to the venue page, and then the big one marks you as having duly attended. All right, and that should hopefully get us through attendance for today. And if you take off the fact that we started 3 minutes late, it was exactly 30 minutes. So, any questions? I'm going to hang out here. It looks like we have some groups that'll be meeting looks like we have some groups that'll be meeting here. I don't know. You guys can, the people in the audience can, or the audience in the, what do you call it? The students who are attending live can tell you whether they find that it's better to work together after this, or whether it's better to work in Discord. But it sure feels better to me. So I'm definitely liking seeing you guys here. All right, I'm going to stop the recording, and I will officially enter office hours.